There are only 3 female students, Amala, Kohli and Rini, and only 3 male students, Biman, Matthew and Shyamal in a course. The course has 2 evaluation components, a project and a test. The aggregate score in the course is the weighted average of the 2 components, with the weights being positive and adding to 1. The weighted average, they don't need to add up to 1, but here we've been told they add up to 1. So maybe 20% and 80%, 50 and 50, some combination like that. The projects are done in groups of 2, with each group consisting of a female and a male student. Okay, so Amala and Matthew and Kohli and Shyamal and Rini and Biman in some combo, they're combining for the project component. For the test component, it's individual. Typically, this is how it works in most systems. Right? The following additional facts are known about the scores in the project and the test. The minimum, maximum and the average of both project and test scores were identical, 40, 80 and 60. So the range is very clear, 40 to 80, average is 60. The test scores of the students were all multiples of 10. 4 of them were distinct and the remaining 2 were equal to the average test scores. 4 were distinct and the remaining 2 were equal to the average test scores. And so remember, there are 6 independent test scores, only 3 project scores, with each pair getting the same project score. And so only 3 project teams, only 3 project scores, 6 test scores. The test scores were all multiples of 10. 4 of them were distinct and the remaining 2 were equal to the average. Average is 60. 2 are 60, others are all different. Amala's score in the project was double that of Kohli in the same. But Kohli scored 20 more than Amala in the test. Yet Amala had the highest aggregate score. So Amala scored more than Kohli in the project, less than Kohli in the test, but overall score she had more. Shyamal scored the second highest in the test. He scored 2 more than Kohli, but 2 fewer than Amala in the aggregate. After this, weightages are put in 20% and 80% and 40% and 60%. Some combination we put for the weightage. After that, this is the update. Biman scored the second lowest in the test and the lowest in the aggregate. Matthew scored more than Rini in the project, but less than her in the test. Lots of information. The minimum and maximum and average of both projects and test scores are 40, 80, 60. This is not the relevant thing. This is a relevant thing. And so the test scores of the students were all multiples of 10. 4 of them were distinct and the remaining 2 were equal to the average of the test scores. Average of the test scores is 60. So 6 of them are there. 6 different test scores. Average is 60. So 2 people took the average score. 4 of them are distinct and the remaining 2 were equal to the average test score. So the 60 and 60 sitting here. There's a minimum 40 sitting here. Maximum 80 sitting here. 4 of them are distinct. So 40 dash 80 are all distinct. Right? And the average is 60. Average of 40 and 80 is also 60. So the other 2 should average to 60, should be distinct from each other and not equal to 40 or 80. And so you think about this, x and y, 40, 80, 60, 60, x, y, x and y should be distinct, should add up to 120, should be more than 40 and less than 80. Not 60, 60, the only possible values are 50 and 70, or the test scores are 40, 50, 60, 60, 70, 80. Those are our test scores, which is super useful. We can just fill this in. Amala's score in the project was double that of Kohli in the same. Double that. Project score is double. Or Amala has got and Kohli has got 40. That means Rini, the third one, the third girl is Rini, should have got 60. Nice. We don't know who they are working with, but we know their scores. Shyamal scored the second highest in the test. So this is Shyamal. Biman scored the second lowest in the test and the lowest in the aggregate. So this is Biman. Matthew scored more than Rini in the project, but less than her in the test. More than Rini. This is Rini. So Matthew should have been paired up, or should have done the project along with Amala. Nice. So Amala and Matthew, we've got 2 of these. Now I think the beautiful constraint here is that aggregate score being 2 up and 2 lower. That's what is going to unlock. He scored 2 more than Kohli, but 2 fewer than Amala in the aggregate. Very interesting. 2 more than Kohli and 2 fewer than Amala in the aggregate. I'm not really interested in Shamal. I'm very interested in Amala and Kohli. Shamal scored 2 more than Kohli, but 2 fewer than Amala. Amala to Kohli, the difference is 4. And so, suppose we say test score weightage is X. Project weightage is 1 minus X. Then Amala has got 40 more marks than Kohli on this and 20 fewer marks in this, because we know that Kohli scored 20 more than Amala in this. So Amala more than Kohli, if you have to calculate, then that will be 40 into 1 minus X minus 20 into X is equal to 4. Beautiful equation that straight away gives us the weightages. How are we doing this? 40 more marks, weightage of 1 minus X, 20 fewer marks than Kohli, weightage of X, 40 times 1 minus X minus 20 times X, because Amala's got fewer than Kohli by 20 marks here. The total is Amala getting 4 more. So it's like saying, because of project score, Amala's aggregate impact is 40 into 1 minus X. Because of test score, Amala's aggregate impact vis-a-vis Kohli is 20x negative, because Kohli has got 20 mark more. 40 into 1 minus X minus 20x is 4. Solve this, we'll get X. Or 40 minus 40x minus 20x equals 4. Or 36 equals 60x. Or X is 0.6 or 60%. This has a 60% weightage and this has a 40% weightage. 60% weightage, 40% weightage. Nice. Now Amala Kohli in their aggregate scores are 20 apart, and with Amala being less than Kohli. So if I think about it, Amala and Kohli could have been 40-60, could not have been 50-70, could have been 60-80. And so Amala Kohli as a duo, either 40-60 or 60-80. I'm already thinking it's 60-80 because Amala scored the highest overall. If she had scored only 40 in the test with 60% weightage, it's very likely that somebody would have scored more than that. Not Kohli, but somebody else. Especially our man Shamal has got 70 marks here. And so he's got greater than or equal to Kohli here. And he's got 70 marks here already. And so if they're 40-60 or 60-80, Kohli could have got 60 or 80 compared to Shamal. If Kohli had got 60, then Shamal gets 10 more marks at a weightage of 60% or 6 marks more on the aggregate just on the back of this. Is plus 6 on the back of this. Right? And then he could have been paired with Kohli, he'll get the same marks, or do one better, in which case he'll get more marks. But we know that he scored 2 more than Kohli, not 6 more than Kohli. He didn't score 6 more than Kohli, he scored only 2 more than Kohli. If Kohli had got 60, then Shyam, who's got 10 more marks than for the test score, would have been plus 6 on the aggregate. 60% of 10 is 6. He's up 6. Here is definitely up or same, because Kohli has got the minimum possible in project. Already plus 6 and then possibly more. Shamal would have got at least 6 more than Kohli if Kohli had got 60. That is not the case. He gets only 2 more than Kohli. Or this is Kohli, which means this is Amala. Amala gets 60 and 80. Kohli gets 80 and 40. And then we'll find what Shamal gets and then fill everything in after that. Fine. So now we can put the overall scores as well. So Amala gets 60% of 60, 36 plus 32. Total score would be 36 plus 32. 60% of 60, 40% of 80. Kohli gets 48, 60% of 80 plus 16, 40% of 40. And then we'll come to Shamal. Let's do this. 68 and 64. Difference of 4. That works out. So Shyamal should have scored 66. 60% of 70 is 42. So you've got 24 coming from there, from the 40% weightage, or you should have scored 60. This is Shyamal. That means this should be Biman. Lovely. Shyamal would have got 66. Biman, how much does Biman get? Overall score, 50% of 60 is 30. Sorry, 60% of 50 is 30. 40% of 40 is 16. 30 plus 16, 46. We need to find Matthew and Renee's scores, and then we are through. Matthew scored more than Renee in the project, but less than her in the test. More than Renee in the project, yeah, that is seen. Fewer than her in the test, or this should be Matthew. This should be Renee. Matthew's got 60% of 40, 24, plus 40% of 80, which is 32. 24 plus 32, overall should be 56. Renee gets 60% of 60, 36, plus 24 equal to 60. We put all the scores together, weightage of 60%, weightage of 40, 40, 80, overall is 56. Got all of this. We just look at the questions and answer them. An entire grid being solved. What is Renee's score in the project? Renee's score project 60, done. What is the weightage given to the test component? 60%, 0.6, done. What is the maximum aggregate score obtained by, this is Amala. Amala has got 68, done. What is Matthew's score in the test? Matthew test 40, done. Which of the following pairs of students were part of the same project and team? Same project team, Amala and Biman. Amala got 80 in the project, Biman got 40. No, not this. Say Kohli and Matthew. Kohli got 40, Matthew got, no, not this. Which of the following parts were part? Neither one nor two. Neither one was a part. In a coaching class, some students register online and some others register offline. This one struck home very close by to our own business. Okay. No student registers both online and offline, which is nice. Hence, the total registration number is the sum of online and offline. So it's not like a set theory puzzle, but it's an online intersection offline. That's not happening. The following facts and table pertain to these registration numbers for the 5 months, January to May of 2023. The table shows the minimum, maximum and median registration numbers of these 5 months. Separately for online, offline and total number of registrations. For all, we have the median, maximum and minimum. The following additional facts are known. In every month, both online and offline registration numbers were multiples of 10. Very nice, happy, multiples of 10, beautiful. In January, the number of offline registrations was twice that of online registration. In April, the number of online registration was twice that of offline registration. I think first we should need to look at the table. Minimum, maximum, median for offline, online, offline and total. And so, minimum was 40 here, maximum was 100, median is 80. Minimum is 30 to 80, median is 50. So it looks like online numbers are slightly higher than offline numbers per se. For this, the minimum is 110, maximum is 130, median is 120. And so, first thing to note that these two minimums are not adding up to this. These two maximums are not adding up to this. So usually it happens. And so the person who got the minimum in this need not have been the person who got the minimum in this. If you're looking at scores, something in terms of CAT scores, Quant, LRDI, VRC and all that, or the month where we saw minimum online intake need not have been the month which you saw minimum offline intake. It doesn't have to add up. In this case, it clearly doesn't add up. And so, first cut in the data, what kind of drew me was like, hey, this all seems interesting, but this is 110, 130, 120, bunched together. So telling us that whenever offline was bad, online was good and vice versa. And so this is very close. And typically the range of the cumulative thing is broader. This goes from 40 to 100, 30 to 80. That goes from 110 to 130, bunched together. And lovely. Now let's attack this. Both online and offline registration numbers are multiples of 10. We've got this. In January, offline registrations were twice online registrations. So if online were X, offline would be 2X. In April, online registrations were twice of offline registrations. This were Y, this would be 2Y. Online registration just March is equal to offline registration in February. Online March is equal to offline in February. So this were P, this would be P. The number of online registrations was the largest in May. Online maximum May. Online maximum is 100. So this is 100. Nice, we put some basic data inside, and then we'll work on these. And so the total numbers are 110, 120, 130. Only those three numbers are possible. Let's tweak this. And what's very interesting, and it's a beautifully crucial point for this entire set, is hey, we add this up, we say this is 3x. We add this up, and we say this is 3y. The multiple of 10 should be a multiple of 10. So multiple of 3, or the total number. Straight away get the total number, because the total number can only be 110, 120 or 130. 110 and 130 are not possible. So this is 120, this is 120. So this is 40 and 80, this is 80 and 40. So we're rocking, just fill all this data in. 40 and 80, 80 and 40. Lovely. Now the total maximum is 130. Online is 100 in May. Think about this. If this were 130, this would be 30. If there 120, this will be 20. So 110, this will be 10. But if we pause and think about it, the minimum number offline is 30. This is 100. Minimum is 30. It should be more than or equal to 130. This cannot be more than 130. Or this has to be 130. And this is 30. We've got this far. These two are equal, P and P. So now we look at the median idea. And so 130, the median for offline numbers is 50. Median for online numbers is 80. So there's already a 30 and a 40 here. 50 is more than 30 and 40. So if one of the numbers is 50, the other number is greater than or equal to 50. Either we could have two 50s or 50 and 60, 50 and 70, some combo. One of these two numbers is definitely 50. And the other one is greater than or equal to 50. 50 and higher are these two numbers. Right? Now, here 40, 80, 100. So 100 and 80 are already there. The one number is below 40, another number is, one number is below 80, another number is above 80. So you can have one number which is above 80, one below 80. And so 90 and 40, 90 and 60 are all possible. Or one number equal to 80 is also possible. Even then the median would still be the middle term. And so this tells us that one of these two fellows is 50. One of these two is 50. And the other we'll have to figure out it's greater than or equal to 50. The other way of thinking about this is to say, in this, one number could be more than 80, one less than 80, or one equal to 80 and the other one either way. Right? So there are more possibilities here, fewer here, so I'm going to attack that. I'm going to say, of these two numbers, the offline numbers in Feb and March, one of the two has to be 50, the other one is greater than or equal to 50. So we can say, hey, either this is equal to 50, in which case this will be 50, or this is 50 and this is greater than 50, because equal to 50 would have already accounted for, and these two being equal. So two threads or parts we have. I'm going to fill both of them. 50, 50, or this is 50, this is greater than 50 and this is equal to P. Nice, lovely. Now let's think about this. Now if this is an easier set, because 5 numbers are filled in. So this is 40, 50, 80, 100. The median is 80. So this number should be greater than or equal to 80. It cannot be greater than 80, because then this will become more than 130. It's not possible. So put this as equal to 80. This makes this 130 total. 130, 120, 120, 130. This has to be 110. It's greater or equal to 50, can be 60. This median is 50, this median is 80, overall median is 120, 110 to 130, 40 to 100, 30 to 80, everything is satisfied, we're very happy. Right? And then we look at this and say greater than 50, this both of them being equal, then this is 50. Right? This is greater than 50, let's say this is hypothetically 60. And this is 60. 60 plus 50 is 110. So far so good. Now this is 60. If you take 40, 60, 80, 100, this number should be at least 80. Even if you put it 80, 80 plus 60 is 140. Not possible. So this cannot be 60. Right? So this makes me think. So this cannot be 60. Maybe we'll put 70 there. 60 doesn't work. Maybe we'll put 70 there. I mean, this will be 70. 70 plus 50 is 120. This should be maximum 130. This should be 60. 60 or lesser. If you put a 60, 40, 60, 70, 80, 100. Not possible. Not possible. And so this number cannot be more than 80. And so now I'm getting somewhere. So I'm going to make an inference here, jump at this and say, hey, I'm going to look at this number. Oopsie. This is greater than 50, that should be less than 80. If this is less than 80, this should be 80 or more. This is less than 80, then two numbers less than 80, then this number should be greater than or equal to 80. It cannot be greater than 80 because then this will become more than 130. The only possibility is p equal to 80. This is greater than 50, this should be less than 80. Both of them add up to maximum 130. Greater than 50 should be less than 80. If this is greater than 50 and that's 80 or more, will add up to more than 130. That's not possible. This is less than 80. Two numbers less than 80. 180. One number more than 100. This has to be at least 80. Otherwise, my median won't be 80. If this were more than 80, this will become more than 130. Only possibility is this is equal to 80. This is equal to 80. This adds up to 130. All good. So 130, 130, 130, 130, 120, 120. This should add up to 110. This should become 30. Except this can't be 30 because online minimum is 40. So this is just not possible. This entire possibility simply cannot exist. Only possibility is for the Feb offline number to be equal to the March online number to be equal to 50. It's the only possibility. Both of them being 50. That works. We plonk it in and get out of there. That's the only possibility. So this is our final tally. What are the total number of registrations in April? 120, good to go. What are the number of online registrations in January? Online January, 40, done, good to go. Which of the following statements can be true? Which of them could be true? The number of offline registrations was the smallest in May. Yeah, that is true. Offline 30, smallest, true. 1 is true. The total number of registrations was the smallest in February. No, that's not true. The smallest in March. February was 130, highest. So only 1. What best can be concluded about the number of offline registrations in February? Offline in February is 50. It says 30 or 50 or 80. No, 80. No, 50 or 80. No, only 50. Done. True. Which pair of months definitely had the same total number of registrations? It will be Jan and April, Feb and May. Jan and April, Feb and May, both 1 and 2. Jan and April both had 120, Feb and May both had 130. Air conditioner AC company has 4 dealers, D1, D2, D3 and D4 in a city. It is evaluating sales performances of these dealers. Nice, interesting. The company sells 2 variants of ACs, window and split. Both these variants can be either inverter type or non-inverter type. So the split and window, inverter and non-inverter. So technically there are 4 categories: inverter split, inverter non-split, inverter window, inverter window, non-inverter window, inverter split, non-inverter split, and 4 different variants. It is known that the total number of ACs sold in the city, 25% were of the window variant, while the rest were of the split variant. Among the inverter ACs sold, 20% were of the window variant. So some numbers are given. Every dealer sold at least 2 window ACs. D1 sold 13 inverter ACs, while D3 sold 5 non-inverter ACs. So I know that I've got a grid here of the 4 categories. I want to get that. If something helps me get to the total number of split window, inverter, non-inverter, the entire categorization, I'm jumping on that. Not this, not this. A total of 6 window non-inverter ACs and 36 split inverter ACs were sold in the city. I'm liking this because this speaks to the total number, not what D1, D2 did, splitter, split, non-split, inverter, non-inverter, all of that. Because if I think about this question is telling us there are 4 different categories of ACs, 4 different guys, 16 different random set of numbers have to be filled in. I want to get the first 4 overall things and then we'll attack the rest later on. The number of split ACs sold by D1 was twice the number of window ACs sold by it. Okay. D3 and D4 sold an equal number of window ACs. This number was 1/3 of the number of similar ACs sold by D2. D2 and D3 were the only ones who sold window non-inverter ACs. The number of these ACs sold by D2 was twice the number of these sold by D3. D3 and D4 sold very difficult. Lots of data. My brain can't process this much. So I'm going to attack the 1 or 2 that I know clearly. Of the total number of ACs sold in the city, 25% were of the window. So this is 25%. This is 75%. Among the inverter ACs, 20% were of the window variant. So if we take this is X, this is 20% of X. That means this is 80% of X. 1/5 of X, 4/5 of X. Now I know this one beautiful condition. Total window non-inverter ACs is 6. Total window non-inverter ACs is 6. Total split inverter ACs is 36. Split inverter ACs is 36. 80% of X is 36. 4/5 X is 36. X is 45. That means this is 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. 15 is 25% of total. The total is 60. This number is 45. This is 45 totally. That is 60. This is 15. This is 6. This is 9. Got this. We've got the total numbers beautifully computed. If we don't do this, it's a complete nightmare. We'll have lots of cells to fill and it becomes a wild goose chase after a point. And so we've got to get this part nailed in. This box of 4 categorizations should jump out and say, hey, I need to fill this in before I proceed. Now I know the total numbers. Then I can make more sense of this because I know this is 9, 6, 9, 36, 45, 15. Numbers are small and nice. Typically, I'll want to chase this or this. Nice small numbers. When there's D1, D2, D3, D4 all delivering here. If you're told the 2 of them are delivering equal number, non-zero, both greater than 1, 2, 2 or 3, 3, and then we can figure out the rest after that. Right? So let's look at this. Every dealer sold at least 2 window ACs. Nice. D1 sold 13 inverter ACs while D3 sold 5 non-inverter ACs. Inverter, non-inverter, too high. Total window non-inverter, this we have used already. Split ACs by D1 equals 2 times window ACs by D1. Nice. D3 and D4 sold an equal number of window ACs and this number was 1/3 of the number of similar ACs sold by D2. Nice. This I like because window ACs, only 15 of them. So if you think about it, D3 and D4 sold an equal number. This number was 1/3 the number sold by D2. So suppose I say window ACs, D2, D3, D4, this is X and X, this is 3X. And we know every dealer sold at least 2 window ACs. So if I add D2, D3, D4, it is 5X. And X is greater than or equal to 2. So that 5X is a multiple of 5 more than or equal to 10. So it cannot, X cannot be 1. Only be 10 or 15. This total number can only be 10 or 15. Why? Only 15 window ACs being sold totally. So my x cannot be 4. That will go up to 20. Just these three fellows. It cannot even be 15 because I know D1, that fourth bugger, sold at least 2 window ACs. If x were 3, 9 plus 3 plus 3 will add up to 15. No room for taking the 2 more from D1. Or I know for a fact that this is 2, this is 2, this is 6. 6 plus 2 adding up to 10, and then I can fill the remaining. D2 is 3x, D3 and D4 are greater than or equal to 2, equal to x. D1 is greater than or equal to 2. So if I put x equal to 2, it works. If I put x equal to 3, it goes beyond 15. The total is 15. I cannot put x equal to 1. That's not possible. Each of them sells at least 2. I cannot put 3 or more. X has to be 2. So we've got 2, 2, 6 for D4, D3, D2 adding up to 10. That means D1 sold 5. Super useful. Fill all of this in. D2 and D3 were the only ones who sold window non-inverter ACs. Window non-inverter ACs. This. Only D2 and D3 are selling this. D1 and D4 are selling 0 units of this. Only 6, so I like that. Small number, small constraint. The number of these ACs sold by D2 was twice the number of these ACs sold by D3. D2 is twice of D3, adding up to 6. So D2 should be 4. And D3 should be 2. So you can say within this, D2 and D3 were the only ones who sold window non-inverter ACs. So D1 and D4 are 0, 0. Within that, the number of these ACs sold by D2 was twice that number sold by D3. So this is 4, this is 2. This total is 6, this should be 2. This is 2, this is 0, 2, 2, 0. It's 5. Nicely done. So this number adds up to 9, which is what is here. This number adds up to 6, which is what sits here. The total is 15. That works. So you've got the window AC, inverter, non-inverter part done to a pat. D1, D2, D3, D4, we have got all 4 numbers. 8 numbers are already in the bag. After this, hey, nice. Now we'll have to look at the split AC inverter, non-inverter part. Then look at some of our constraints. D1 sells 13 inverter ACs, totally 13. D1 sells 5 window inverter ACs. So split inverter will be 8. D3 sells 5 non-inverter ACs. D3 non-inverter is 2. D3 split non-inverter should be 3. Split ACs by D1 equal to 2 times window ACs by D1. D1 sells 5 of these, twice of that, 10. That means there should be 2. D3 and D4 sold an equal number of split inverter ACs. This number was half the number of similar ACs sold by D2. D3 and D4, same number they sold. So let's say this is P, this is P, half of D2, this is 2P. Done. True. We can get this. How can we get this? Because 2P plus P plus P is 4P. 4P plus 8. Total number of inverter split ACs. This inverter split ACs is 36. Or 4P equals 28. P is 7. So this is 14, 7, 7. 3 plus 7 is 10. Wonderful. Got this far, we've got the whole thing mapped out really well. And then I said, look, this seems like a beautiful complete grid. Maybe I'll be able to fill everything in. And I looked and looked and looked and scrounged at all the constraints. Didn't go anywhere. Didn't go anywhere at all. So this is 10, this is 15. This is completely filled. The window AC, 15 numbers, total inverter, non-inverter, we know that completely. This one, this adds up to 45. This adds up to 36, this adds up to 9. So these two fellows add up to 4. These two add up to 25. All reasonable. But here we're not going anywhere. We don't know. If you know any one of the numbers, we can get the others. If you assume this is x, this is 4 minus x. This is 14 plus x. 10 plus 14 plus x plus 10 is 34 plus x. 11 minus x. Now we know that X can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It cannot be negative, it cannot be more than 4. Only a few possibilities, but those few possibilities exist. I scrounged long and hard and I thought, look, we're going to solve this completely. There is a grid available. No, there isn't any grid available. There's simply no grid present here. So this is open-ended, that is completely fixed. Well, let's go to the questions. How many split inverter ACs did D2 sell? D2 split inverter 14. Done. What percentage of ACs sold were the non-inverter type? Non-inverter is 15 by 60, 25%. Done. What are the total number of ACs sold by D2 and D4? D2 and D4. This, oopsie. These two add up to 25 because these two add up to 20. These two add up to 8. Oops. Total number of ACs sold by D2 and D4. These two add up to 25. These two add up to 20. 25 plus 8, 33. Done. Which of the following statements is necessarily false? D2 sold the highest number of ACs. D2 sold 14 plus X plus 6, 20 plus X. This is the highest. D1 sells 15, 10 plus 5. D3 sold 12, adding up to 27. That's a large number. 20 plus X is larger than this. X is positive. These two, this is 13 minus X. So D2 sold the maximum number of ACs. That is definitely true. Always true. D1 and D3 together sold more ACs compared to D2 and D4 together. These two fellows together sell 27. Those two sell 33. This is false. D1 and D3 sold an equal number of split ACs. D1 and D3 split ACs, yeah, 10, 10, true. That is true. This is true. This is true. D4 sold more split ACs as compared to D3. D4 split ACs, D3. 11 minus X and 10. Is 11 minus X more than 10? We cannot say it's necessarily false because it could be 11, it could be 9. Both are possible. I don't have to investigate when will it be true, when it will be false. Can we say it's necessarily false? No, we cannot. It can work both ways. This is also true. This is necessarily false. D1 and D3 together sold 27. The other two sold 33. So more than that, not possible, never. So this is never true, so necessarily false. Choice 2. Choice B. If D3 and D4 sold an equal number of ACs, D3 and D4 sold an equal number of ACs, which is nice. That means this is 10, that means X is 1, this number is 3, this is 15. Then what is the number of non-inverter ACs sold by D2? Non-inverter ACs, 1 plus 4, 5 totally. A, B, C, D, E and F are 6 police stations in an area which are connected by streets as shown below. 4 teams, team 1, team 2, team 3 and team 4 patrol these streets continuously between 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock. The teams need 30 minutes to cross a street connecting one police station to another. So to go from here to here, they'll take 30 minutes. To go from here to here, they'll take 30 minutes. This way, 30 minutes. The streets are bi-directional. It is not being told anything about that. A to B, B to A, both are possible. All 4 teams start from A at 9 o'clock. They must return to station A by 12 o'clock. They can also pass via station A at any point on their journeys. Yeah, assuming. Otherwise, you go to B and then you park there. So it's like A, C, D, E, F, A, B, A, C, some circle like this, they're all doing. The following facts are also known. None of the streets has more than one team traveling along it in any direction at any point of time. So we cannot have 2 patrol teams going from A to B. We cannot even have 2 patrol teams, one going from A to B, one going from B to A at the same stretch of 30 minutes. That's not a done thing. Teams 2 and 3 are the only ones in stations E and D at 10 o'clock. Teams 1 and 3 are the only ones in station E at 10:30. Both of them at station E at 10:30. 1 and 4 are the only ones in B and D respectively at 11:30. This is also respectively at 10 o'clock. Team 1 and Team 4 are the only teams that patrol the street connecting stations A and D. Team 4 never passes through B, D or F. So the constraints I like that I want to capture are this 10 o'clock constraint, because 9 to 10 is only two travel legs, 9 to 9:30, 9:30 to 10. We've been told where they are. We should be able to nail where they are. Another one that I like is the 11:30 one. If I know where they are at 11:30, I know my last leg. They're back at A at 12. So 11:30 to 12 is fixed. It's not going to help me solve the whole process, but it's a nice anchor. I know my last point is A. Last but one point for two fellows, I know. The one I really love is this one. Starts at A, ends at A. So leaving out A, there are only two other places he goes to. Three of them have been eliminated. B, D, F are eliminated. Only C and D he goes to. A, C, E. So only these three places he goes to. Lovely. If you look at the grid, A, C is this side, A, E is this side. There's no link between C and D. So either goes A, C, C, A, A, E, E, A, A, C, C, A, A, E, E, A. That's all he does. Our man goes up and down, right and left, up and down, right and left. That's all he does. Team 4, not our man, our team. That I like again. So what I'm going to start with this. Start at 9 o'clock, must return to station A by 12 o'clock. Each of them has 6 different legs. Each leg is half an hour. So one team could go this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they could do A, C, D, E, A, F, A. So 6 different travel legs they have. Right. They start and end at A. The constraint that we like at team 2 and 3 are the only ones in E and D respectively at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, team 2 is here. At 10 o'clock, team 3 is there. Now, team 2 reaches at 10 o'clock after 2 legs. So A, C, E is not possible. A, B, E is not possible. You can't even go to D. So team 2 must necessarily have said, I go this in the first leg, travel this in the second leg to reach E. Team D, team 3 reaching D could have been A, C, D or A, E, D. One of these two. A, C, D or A, E, D. Two options are there for reaching D. A, C, D or A, E, D. Two options are there. But for team 2, there's only one option. A, F, E. Nothing else is possible. Now, A, E, E, D, teams 1 and 4 are the only teams that patrol the streets AE. This, only 1 or 4. So, team 3 could not have taken the AED route. So, team 3 necessarily went from AC, CD, team 2. This is team 2, this is team 3. Nice. Now team 4 therefore never passes through B, D or F, traveling only to C and D. The moment it starts, team 3 is going to C, team 4 would have gone to E and come back. Nice. Now I'm getting a sense that I need to have a table like this to simplify life. 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30, 12. They all come back to A. So this is A. Team 2 has necessarily done AFE. Team 3 has done ACD. Team 4 has done AEA. Because couldn't have gone to C, only AEA. Teams 1 and 3 are the only ones in station E at 10:30. Teams 1 and 3 are at station E at 10:30. So this is E, this is E. This is not E. Teams 1 and 4 are the only ones in B and E respectively at 11:30. 1 is at B. And 4 is at E. Nicely done. Now straight away I can make a couple of more inferences. Team 4 has gone E to A. Before that should have been A to E. AE, AC, AEA is team 4 journey. But this should have been A, this is not E, should have been C, done through. Let's go step by step. Team 1 and 4 are the only teams that patrol the street connecting A to E. We've kept that in mind. Nobody could have done A to E. So from E here, team 2 could not have gone to A. Sorry, from F is gone to E. From E could not have gone to E. That is obvious. I don't even have to write this. Let's look at team A, team 1. Team 1 are the only ones at 10:30 at E, at 11:30 here. How could team 1 have gone there? Teams 2, 3, 4 have gone to FCE. FCE. So team 1 would have had no option but to go to B and then back to A. They couldn't have taken the same route. A, B, A, E. A, B, A, E. And then goes back via B. So team 1 does A, B, A, E. Last leg is from B to A. So from E should have been back to A. E, A, A, B, A. Team 1 completely fills itself. Nothing to worry. Right? From A, when we started, the 4 guys should have gone on 4 different routes, the starting point. And so they go to B, F, C, E. Very much like that. The last leg should have been B, F, C, E. So one of these 2 guys should have come via C, other should have come via F. Now we know between teams 2 and 3, 3 is finding himself at E, could have done F, A or A, C, A. A, C, A. Could have done A, F, A, team 3, but nobody does. From E, D, C, A is also possible. D, C, A, that is possible. In which case this is C, this should be F. Team 2 is at E. Finishing with F. We need to think about F and C, which one comes here, which one comes here. I want to fill this in, recap this, and then attack that separately. Fill this, we fill this. Team 2 at 10 o'clock is at E. Could not have gone to D because ED is this side. Could not do EA because only 1 and 4 do EA. So this should have been F. So, lovely. We've got this far. Just have to finally finish this thing off. We know that the last point here, where all of them reach, finally they're all going to reach A at 12 o'clock. So they should have, these 2 are coming from B and E. The other 2 should come from C and F. So the end point is C/F, F/C. That's how they're reaching there. And so can F come from F? You're there. Can you come all the way to A via C? From F, can you come via C? The only way is FA, CA. FA, CA. FA, CA. It's possible. Go to FA, go to C, come back to A. It's possible. Here, team 3 is at E. Could this person reach via F? Cannot go to EA. That's not possible. Because EA is patrolled only by 1 or 4. Can go to D or F. Assume it comes to F. Then from F, you cannot go to C and come to A. That's not possible. Cannot go to A directly because there's one more step that is required. There are 3 legs sitting in here. So this could not have been F. If it becomes F, then I can never reach A in 2 steps. From F in 2 steps to A is FEA. EA is not possible for team 3. Or we know for sure that this could not have been F. So from E, I cannot go to A. I cannot go to F. I go to D, C, A. Only possibility. That means the guys, team 1, 3 and 4 are coming through B, C and E. This fellow should have come through F. So team 2 go from AF, EF, dash FA, AF, EF and then FA. this part could have been FE or FA. I'm just going to pause. If I put E here, FE, there's no EF possible. If I put A here, FA, there's no AF, that's also possible. So this could have been E or F, and I could have still worked it out. And the whole thing is consistent either way. So let's look at this. E or A, both work. Which one of the following stations is visited the largest number of times? D, C, F, E. So we forget this, we forget this. D is visited 1, 2 times. D is visited 2 times. C is visited once, twice, thrice. F once, no F, twice, thrice. Let's go to E. E happens once here, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It's 5 or 6. Which is following is visited the largest number of times? E, clearly. How many times do the teams pass through station B in a day? Teams pass through station B in a day. 1. No B. 2 times. Which team patrols the street connecting stations D and E at 10:15 hours? This is this time between D and E. This, which is team 3. Done. How many times does team 4 pass through station E in a day? Team 4 once, twice, 2 times. How many teams pass through station C in a day? Station C is not at all touched by team 1, not by team 2. Team 3 touches it. Team 4 also touches it. Team 3 touches it twice. 2 teams. Done.